How you doing there? Demon, what's up, man? My wife let me out of the house. If you pay attention, you'll hear two drunk guys across from me. And there's two dudes fishing. Hold on. I just caught two bass, so I figured I'd start the live stream. So yeah, I caught two bass on the Senko Worm. Did you hear that clink? That was a bottle. All right. Yeah. So this might be an entertaining stream. That dude, I don't know if you see him. He's dancing right now. He's kind of on a ledge, so he might fall into the river. Into the lake. Dude is straight up just dancing. One question is, who's gonna go get him? Yep, it's party time. So I caught two bass within the past like half an hour. One of them was pretty small. I think it was like maybe a half a pounder, maybe, and the other one was about a pound, pound and a half, I'd say. Dude, I don't know if those guys caught any fish, but they probably drank like half a bottle of vodka and they're just dancing it up out there. You guys hear it? I love this shit. Hold on. Oh man, I did feel bites. Hold on, let me see what you guys are writing. But this is gonna be an entertaining stream. I think that dude's gonna get so drunk eventually he's gonna fall off. Hold on. Feeder? How you doing, Lesnies? I don't know what feeder means, but I'm just fishing with a Senko worm. And if you look behind the worm, you're gonna see the two drunk. Fish Diddy has arrived. That's hilarious. If you guys just listen to the noises, that's those two dudes across the bank totally drunk. I love it. This is gonna be a good stream. Dude, I think one of them is gonna fall into the fucking lake. Dude, I feel like it's like an episode of Chappelle Show. I can't see anything. Hold on. I'm trying. You guys hear that, right, in the background? No, they're just singing some soul songs from the 70s and 60s. And one guy just keeps repeating it. Dude, he caught the smallest bluegill. I thought he caught a 15-pound bass. I'm telling you, this might turn into a rescue mission. Obviously, I'm not an asshole. I wouldn't call cops on these guys, but I hope one of them doesn't fall into the lake. So yeah, I just had two bass. I found a bigger Senko. I was fishing with a smaller Senko, like watermelon flake. And I was thinking back to the big Senko I caught my PB on, and I found like next to me was a bigger Senko just laying there. Let me show it to you. So yeah, I found this one just laying there, and it's in pretty good condition. So I'm just gonna keep using it. If no bites, I'm gonna switch back to I have this flake, a black and red flake. that's a good cast right there. Right past the weed line. That's kind of where I caught my PB 2, 3 days ago. Let me see what you guys are writing. 944 subs. Yeah, well, like I'm telling you, man, if you ever get your own channel, and I'll definitely subscribe to you, but if you could get your own channel, make sure you do live streams. I would still probably be sitting at 400 if I didn't do live streams. Oh, you saw that? There's action here. Hold on. I think the only reason I got up to the subs is because I've been doing live streams. I actually gave up on my channel right around July because I felt like I wasn't giving people like decent content. There's something going on over there. I'm gonna get my Senko over there. And but then I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna keep going. And I got over 100, and then it kind of had a couple of like decent videos that popped off, and I haven't stopped since. My kid told me I'd never get over 100, so that was my goal. I'm just going weedless. Let's see. Yeah. I did catch 2 bass. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, there's a fish over there. Hold on. I'm gonna recast this. Yeah, so I found this Senko Worm maybe like 30 minutes ago. I decided to throw it on. It's just a little bigger than the one I usually use. I think people just use a Senko once and they just throw it out, which is definitely not what I would do because it was perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm streaming off my iPhone. There's actually a so I wish somebody told me that when I was starting, but you can go on Amazon and type in magnetic iPhone neck mount because, dude, I think that guy almost fell in. Jesus. Yeah, so I bought this. I forgot the company name, but I'll show it to you here. See this? So you basically just pop your iPhone on there, and here you go. It's pretty decent. I just wish I could, for YouTube streaming, I had an option to go 0.5 so you guys could see a wider field of view. Sometimes I'll watch. Oh, wait, I don't think that's a fish. That's seaweed. Yeah, we got a bunch of seaweed. Hold on. It came out. Yeah, sometimes I'll rewatch my live streams and I feel bad because sometimes you'll like just see me be looking at my fist while I'm reeling. And especially right now in the complete sun, I don't see the screen, so I actually have to pop my phone off the mount and go look at what's going on. But yeah, I had a good start. I had 2 bass. Unfortunately, I got hooked one of them really badly. He was going to die, so I kept him. The bigger one. I felt bad, but he munched it. Like the thing was inside of him. He was definitely going to die. And that's probably the first bass I kept in the past this year. I think that's the first bass I kept. But I haven't been bass. Oh man, that was a. God damn it. Had a bite. Unfortunately, I didn't have tension on. Just gonna let it drop. Let me see what you guys are writing. Yeah, I caught 2 bass. How you doing? Finally joining the journey. Oh, I remember you. It's not the first time you joined. I appreciate it. But yeah, I caught 2 bass. I didn't want to stream because in the morning I streamed. I didn't catch anything. So I came over and I started fishing. I caught 2 fish. Nothing huge. So I was like, well, maybe it's going well. So I'm not gonna disappoint people. Let me start streaming. Of course, now that I'm streaming, I'm not catching anything. I actually have one of the fish in my backpack because it was really badly got hooked and I kept it. Dude, I think I spooked those guys across from me because it looks like I'm talking to myself. And they're drunk, but man, talking to yourself is much worse than being drunk. So I think I spooked him a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going really slow. But I really love the Senko fishing. So far I landed 5 bass, and I've only been fishing. I don't usually bass fish. Man, I got hooked on bass fishing in the past couple of days. Let's try cast it to a different spot. I'm just using a weightless Senko with that offset hook, and that's it. Nothing else. Although, you know what? I have a chopper whopper plopper by Berkeley. I'm going to try that too. I'm fishing for bass. Hi, Brandy. How are you doing? So yeah, I can show you the bass I caught. I mean, I feel like I said it died instantly because I gut hooked it. I don't know why I munched it so hard, but this is the first bass I'm going to keep this year. Let me get. I had my cooler backpack with me, so I threw it in. I really feel bad. Hold on. Give me a sec. It's kind of hard to stream fish and show you the fish. There it is. Can you see it? Yeah. So I hooked him right in the gills and the gut, and I knew he was gonna not make it, so I kept him. I feel bad, but there's nothing I can do. If I was gonna release him, he was just gonna instantly die anyway. So I'll grill him today. How you doing, Bryce? So yeah, I don't want you guys to think that I'm like, it's a big taboo thing to kill big bass. I don't go out there and kill bass. I want other people to catch them. But if they're gonna die, and I know they're gonna die, I would have given it to a guy next to me if he was gonna eat it, but there was nobody next to me, so I was like, I'm just gonna keep it, and I'll grill it up today. Now try and catch one on the stream, of course. Not having much luck. But yeah, I'm completely weightless on that worm. You know what I'm going to do? I might switch to a smaller Senko. That's what I might do, because that's with that Senko I picked up on a bank. It's a little bigger, and I'm not getting any bites on it. Right? I've been fishing with it, and I haven't got any bites. And I know there's bass around here. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to switch to a smaller Senko that it's brand new that I had. I just found this thing on a bank. I like the size of it. It's big. Let's see. Let me just find my Senkos 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna... Yeah, this is the one. I see how much the size difference is. So this is the one that caught me all the fish today, and this is the one I found just laying on the bank, and I've been trying. So, we're gonna go to a smaller one. I'm probably gonna catch more fish with it. Let's try it. No guarantees, but hey. Let's see. I'm gonna tell you, those guys across they were singing. They just kind of stopped talking once I started talking to myself on the stream. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe they'll stop drinking. All right, almost there. So now what I like to do is see where that is. Pop it in the middle. Go through. And now we just do one of these. Hold on. Not exactly perfect. Maybe too deep. All right, let's try it this way. Well, I don't know what cotton A10 means. A10 pen means. I'm sorry. Once that guy catches one more bluegill, he's gonna pipe up again. Don't worry. I think he's gonna sink faster because the relative weight to the hook of that little Senko is much smaller. We'll see. But yeah, I really like the weightless setup. I'm not sure which one catches more fish, but I just started back bass fishing after a long break. I like it. It swims a little better, I think. Somebody got cut off. No, that was not a fish. That was seaweed. Wait, what? How? Oh man, how the hell did I do this? What? I don't think I'd have. 1 second, guys. But yeah, I'm usually my main fishing is either pan fishing, trout fishing. I fish for eels a lot. I'll fish for catfish, but I think fishing for catfish is kind of like a boring stream because there's nothing happening. But I did have a lot of fun eel fishing about a week ago. We did have a lot of fun on that stream. We caught an eel, we caught a turtle. I think we caught like 2 dozen bluegill. It was fun. All right, let's get it out there. Oh, that's a good cast. Right past the weeds. Let me see what you guys wrote. How you doing, David? So, Dave, to answer your question, I'm using a Cardinal 400 Abu Garcia. I mean, this rod might be older than some of you. I got it on Facebook Marketplace. I bought a bunch of rods as a lot from a guy who was, I think he was either done fishing or he was moving, I forgot. And I think I paid like $90 for about 20 rods, and one of them was a St. Croix salmon rod. He actually used that. It was a salmon rod, but he used it for catfishing, which was ridiculous. It had like a 2 ounce weight on it, and I was surprised that it didn't break. But yeah. I like Facebook for buying fishing rods. I don't like to buy used reels though, unless they're brand new and the guy just never used it. You can find a lot of cool deals on rods and tackle though. You can buy a whole box of, quality tackle for like $20 sometimes. But yeah, I don't really mess with used reels unless you like run into like a Van Staal for $50. I'll buy that in a second. And those deals do come around in Jersey. You just not fat. I've never. Oh man, God, I'm not sure if that was a fish, but I saw my line moving through the water. 1 second, guys. Yeah, yard sales are awesome in Jersey because there's a lot of like affluent neighborhoods here and people with money. There's stuff that I found here. I'm not like I don't hunt for those deals, but I will buy them when they come around. Oh, I see a baby bass cruising through. But yeah, Jersey is. When I lived in Sacramento, there was like I felt like there was nothing. When I moved back to Jersey, man, there's like stuff everywhere: cars, motorcycles, stuff like that. Always. 1 second. Let me. All right, let's cast it. I can't believe the bite died off completely. It's so funny. I catch 2 bass because I don't want to stream when I caught them because I felt like I wasn't gonna catch them. As soon as I caught them, I said, you know what? Let me start the stream. And now it's dead. But you know what? Those guys across from me are completely quiet now. I think I freaked him out because I'm talking to myself. At least it's what it looks like it. I have my phone on my neck. Fish. I'm pretty sure that's a fish. I mean, please don't be seaweed. I'll be so pissed. It might be though. With my luck. Oh man, I'm such an idiot. That's exactly how I caught my last one. He wasn't fighting back, but this is seaweed. Or maybe it was a fish and put me into seaweed. Wow. Anybody want some salad, guys? Man. God damn it. Well, it happens to the best of us. Yeah, but it totally looks like I'm talking to myself right now. If you coming through, if you're going down the trail next to me, it looks like I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's one of my favorite terms, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You don't like salad? How you doing, Batty? How you doing, Helen Kelly? And how you doing, Fook? Yeah, we're just doing some bass fishing in a good old Jersey. I'm going really slow because I don't have a weight on my Senko. I felt like I definitely had a bite last time and ran right into the seaweed. All right, and that's definitely seaweed. I know that. That can't be a fish. You know what? Let's try a whopper plopper. The chopper. Give me 1 second. That's so ironic that I catch 2 fish and start the stream because I feel like I have a good day and then just nothing. All right, so here's what we're gonna use. This is a Berkeley chopper. Haven't caught a fish on this yet, but I just started using it today. See, it says Berkeley Chop on 90. I'm using braid and 15-pound braid on this rod. Oh, hit! Had a topwater hit, but it didn't land the fish. Oh man, he jumped up for it too. That was pretty cool. All right, let's try it again. Maybe he'll come back. All right, that was the first time I actually had a hit on that. That was pretty cool. It was right in the middle of those weeds. Let's do it again. I'm doing some psychedelic motions here. Hold on. Let's see what you guys wrote. Hold on, let me check my phone. River fishing? Oh man, I got some good. It depends. Where do you live? Use a light rod. Get an ultralight rod first, unless you have a big river. But start with a light rod, and if you have smallmouth bass, just Google the best smallmouth baits in your area. You can try even my favorite river bait for bass is a marabou jig. It looks like a big. It kind of looks like a big blob of just fur. It looks like a tail from like a dog or something. It just and then it has a hook inside of it. And that's been a secret bait in the 80s for a long time. So it's called a marabou jig. That's one of my favorites. But if you just want to catch smaller fish in the river, get a gulp minnow. They always bite gulp minnow in the river. But what I recommend doing is don't get a big rod, don't get like a tuna rod. If you're gonna start fishing with a light lure, with a light setup. Trust me, it'll make you a good fisherman. Like I fished with everything. I went back to ultralight fishing for years. It's been some of the most enjoyable fishing ever. All right, hold on. I want to cast it out there again. Where I had one hit, but I couldn't. It didn't latch on. All right, we're gonna go through that weed light again. That's where the fish will hit it. All right, no luck. Let's see what you guys wrote while I clean this up. Do you have a specific species you're targeting for a river? Bolognese fishing rods are amazing. We're trying to catch a bass. We caught two before the stream, and unfortunately now I'm getting embarrassed by not catching anything. I did have one good bite on this, but for river, if you're new to the area, start small. Get like a light rod. I don't know if you live in the States or not, but start with a light setup. You can get a rooster tail. Rooster tails work great in the river. You can go weightless on your hook. You can actually put a worm on it and just have a weightless worm. So you don't want to get snagged. Your biggest problem with river fishing is going to be snags, because if you put a sinker weight and you just let it drop, it's going to get caught around rocks, and you'll always snap it off. So you want to go light. Like I said, I don't know. You might be fishing in the Delaware River where there's huge catfish. So it really depends how big that river is. Man, I had one blow up and that's it. Kind of died off. We're gonna keep trying. I really want to catch a fish on the top water. On the top water, awesome. Hold on. But yeah, I always recommend, if you're new to fishing, if you're new to the area, start small and move up. All right, let me get it out of there. All right, one more cast with this, and we're going back to the Senko Worm. Let's see what you guys wrote. Hold on. Just came on. Okay. All right, Crown. We're gonna test that out. You haven't fished in years. How you doing, RTX? We're just trying to catch bass. So one more time. I'm gonna throw the chopper, and we're gonna go. So I caught two bass today on a Senko, and I think I had one more fish on, but I lost him. And now we're just throwing a chopper, having fun with it. I gotta tell you though, those guys that were yelling, that were drunk across from me, that the guy that was singing, as soon as I started the live stream, he got all weirded out. I think he thinks I'm talking to myself, so he stopped singing. That's so funny. All right, last time for the chopper. All right, I think this is it for the chopper. We're gonna go back to. I'm gonna try a Senko for about 10 casts, and then we're gonna change the spots for me to maybe like 50 feet away from here. But I'll show you my ultralight setup. I grabbed it with me today just in case I walked it in. This is just a Shakespeare micro series. It's like $25 at Walmart. It's a 7-footer, and that's a Daiwa Legalis LT1000S. I think the model is a 2023. I have 4-pound line and a small jig head hook on it. I grabbed it with me just in case. But yeah, that's my ultralight. I love it. All right, let's fix the Senko Worm. All right, I think Senko's all right. Alrighty, let's go with Senko. Or Gary Yamamoto. He sold that company to a hedge fund or something. No more Gary Yamamoto. Oof, that was a little hard. You got a catfish? Which kind? Channel or blue? You got kicked from Live Roxy? I'm sorry about that. So yeah, what kind of catfish did you catch? The biggest catfish I caught in this place, but this place only has bullheads, was I think it was like a 3-pound bullhead that we caught. It was a pretty interesting fight. It's fun. But usually the bullheads don't get that big. It's just nobody really fishes for catfish here. But there's catfish, there's eels here. It's pretty stocked, but it's kind of hard to fish it without a kayak or a boat. Oh, I thought that was a fish for a second. Come on. Fell fish. I mean, now I need to look at my Senko worm, because if that wasn't a fish, my Senko was probably beat up. Very strange. I really don't like when they slide down like this. All right, let's toss it out there again. All right, let's let drop. Time 22. I have 67 likes. No, not yet. I have 26 likes. Oh yeah, the blues get huge here too in Jersey. We have this place called Raton River, which is pretty polluted. They get absolutely gigantic over there. Where in California are you from? I might have asked you about this before. I used to live in Sacramento. Loved living in Sacramento for 3 years. It was a little seedy, but It's overall cool. Very law enforcement. That was our problem. Oh yeah, blues get humongous. How you doing, Tom? I think I remember you. I remember talking to Tom. Yeah. So of course, here we go. I was catching bass off the stream. I'm like, all right, let me stream. Maybe I'll catch another one. And here we are with no fish. Looks like I'm like a politician making false promises to myself and everybody else. Hold on. Give me a sec here. Let's try it this way. I'm not very happy I put that Senko on, but let's try it. You never know. Have you guys wacky rigged those worms? Had success with that? Oh, the guy's piping up again. Dude, it sounds like it's freaking Chappelle Show across the freaking lake. I'm telling you, it sounds exactly like Chappelle Show. I can see him knocking back. And yes, Tom, my wife did. You know what she did when she was in college? She did 6 months away. So she went to college in New York City, but there was a program where you could go to England. I forgot the name of it, but basically, NYU has a satellite. Like they have a program where they'll exchange students with a college in England. So my wife took advantage of that in her freshman year, but she told me she took so many classes that she never got to really enjoy that trip. But yeah, she went to Ireland. She said there was sheep everywhere. Oh, RTX, you're from Jersey. Sorry, I have, you know what? Let me print screen this so I don't forget who's from where. I'm probably going to stream again in the next couple of days, so just in case you guys are in the stream. I'm old, so that's why. But yeah, Ireland's a dream. We went to Iceland 3 years ago. That was cool. I caught a Arctic char with my kid in Iceland. All right, I don't think that's a fish. Yeah, it's seaweed. We caught an Arctic char, which was hilarious. Like my kid caught like a 5 pound Arctic char randomly. But I really want to go to Ireland with my family. I heard you guys are good people. Really just want to explore as much as I can while my kids still want to travel with me. All right, let's try it again. All right, where should I cast? Let's cast towards the weeds. All right, please. So yeah, I don't know if you guys heard, but if everybody's still here in the stream, but I did gut hook a bass today, and I ended up, he died basically instantly when I removed the hook, so I had to keep him. I'm not sure if that's a snag. How do I cast it right into the weeds right away? I don't think that's a fish. Nah. All right, I gotta pull it out now. That's the only thing I don't like about the Senko. It slides down the hook. I gotta figure out a better way to rig it. The bigger ones don't do that for some reason. Demon, I'm pretty sure you're from the States. Aren't you from the States? I gotta get better at this. I'm sorry. I've only been streaming for like 2-3 weeks. I'm old. Let's toss it right a little closer this time, so I don't have to. Let's see. I think there's a fish right there. Perfect. That's exactly where I want it to go. Oh, you're directly from Poland. I thought you meant you're like from Poland and you moved here. Oh man, that's awesome. I know you guys have a lot of Ukrainian immigrants recently, as of 3 years ago. My family actually went to Poland during war. Like not my family, but my distant family. They lived in Kiev and they had to run to the Polish